Alright boys, we're in my Minecraft world today and I'm going to be giving an amazing tour. So obviously I have an axe in my hand. I'm gonna name this axe for the fucking purpose of this video. The Tourist's Axe. And yeah, we're just gonna call it that, the Tourist's Axe. And yeah, we're jumping in our world. Recommended render distance is 18, I have it at 13. Which should be more than plenty enough for what we're doing in this video. And, you know, welcome to Bruh City, a project made by Raider Knight. You know, basically Bosnia 2.0. Featuring iconic sites from Minecraft screenshots. And bruh. I even got like my shield right here, which represents my Cyclops statue, which is my first structure we're going to kind of go over. I built this structure back in like 2012 on my Xbox 360, and I replicated it on this world, so it carries over one world from another. I even got these banners hung up all around the city kind of to represent that statue and kind of be like a miniature symbol of the city. The actual flag of my country is this, which has always just been the stripe, and I don't know. I've never named the flag, but that's always been my flag. It's like old, reliable. Another really old structure on this world that I've ported over from Xbox is this clock tower, which is one of the oldest, well, it's the oldest building that I built on this world in terms of like actually building stuff, but in terms of like my Xbox world, it's from 2016, so this is a pretty old structure I ported over as well. And I really like this structure. It's really, like, even now, like in 2020, it's still aged relatively well in terms of building design, so I'm pretty happy with this structure. It's even got like a little parkour thing in here where if you go all the way to the top, there's like a little surprise. Yeah, at the top I got a Father Time, which is a pig, and a congrats for getting to the top. You get a ring a bell, which is the clock tower bell, and you also get City Committee, which is a song that I made on my Lyric Warlock channel. I've hidden music discs all around this world with every song that I've ever made from Lyric Warlock. This world is very deep. It has a lot of detail put into it. Speaking of detail, I have two twin towers, which represent my two major Discord servers. Blue for Legacy and gold for Pikachu Pokemon, and I have the Legacy mascot represented here with the two different icons of staffs in his arms holding up the two towers, which I think represents a pretty good design choice, to be honest. This is one of my more favorite builds on the map. I also have Legacy Burrows, which is more or less a kind of like a little suburb type deal where people can like set up their house if they wanted to. Obviously nobody lives in this world, but I just kind of feel like if I share the world, you know, at least there's buildings that people can set up their houses in if they really wanted to. Obviously most people will probably just build their own, but some people don't like building, so I got a couple houses they can choose from on this map. I even have a Sometime Anytime logo, which is my cloud. And on the other side, I have a green screen, which I can use for memes or whatever I feel like doing in Minecraft. I think I showed this off one time, but it's kind of a cool little thing. This wooden structure is supposed to be my museum. I think it used to be empty in the last video I showed it off, but now it has quite a bit of items, including historic books which detail the history of my map, as well as the first ever sword I had on Survival Island, which is an island off the coast. And here's Bruh Island in all of its fucking glory. I think this is a kind of an older map, but it still works pretty well to represent the island. We have another one of the Cyclops banners, as well as the shield that was used to slay the Ender Dragon in memory of Paul the Sheep, who was killed at the stronghold, sadly. Another cool part of my city is this little park here. Basically, the reason this is destroyed was this used to be a nice little box house structure, but then I basically staged a terrorist attack in my city and blew it up. And then I said to rebuild, we'll just turn it into a beautiful park for the city. Basically, it was just an excuse for me to get rid of this box and blame it on the Ender Dragon for story purposes for my city, but it's overall a pretty interesting city park build, kind of to represent, you know, the Ender Dragon attacked this city, and, you know, we had to fight the Ender Dragon. That's kind of the plot of RP I built for this city. This tower right here is my 6,900 subscriber tower, a tower I built in basically memory of my 6,900 subscriber milestone. I built this right around the same time I hit that. I also built a spider memorial for all the spiders who have died, with 8 columns representing the 8 legs of the spider on the tower, which is, it's kind of a basic tower, but that's why it looks like that. And then I even have like a Kekrok Plaza right here, which is just a little hotel people could build in if they felt like it, with Kekrok statue. All of that kind of wrapping around a beautiful park I have in the center of my city, with big towers on both sides. That leads us to the next district, which is the Blackbird District, with the tallest building in the city, or at least this island. There is a taller building now across the ocean a little bit, but this used to be the tallest building in the city, and I think it's one of the nicest looking in the city. It's called Blackbird Tower, and it has a Blackbird plane inside of it, which is kind of cool, and then a very cool sky view type deal. But a lot of Endermen have been in here as well. As you can see, they've dropped stuff, and I even have Cloudfall, a CD in here, so there are some hidden items as well. But it's a pretty cool little tower. Not a whole lot going on for it, but it is kind of cool. I have PP Tower right here, which is basically, you know, pretty self-explanatory of what this is. I also have a giant map of the entire world, which, as you can see, I have a Triforce Island right here. A giant carrier ship, which we'll show later, as well as a better map of Bruh Island. And you can see the bridge, you can see Trash Island, my statue, the British Island that's over here, as well as a Spook Crater and many other things on this map, which are all kind of cool. Now, in here is actually my house. I built this house. I guess I don't really live here as much as I used to back in the day, but this is basically like my first base I made in this city. I have a bed that says Pokimane was here. You know, this dude dead. The vape floor, the Hyperloop. I made a fucking Hyperloop apparently. We have Gucci, Prada, Fendi, Supreme, and Drain merch. You know, we're popping off. This is our base, and we even have Minecraft hose from the iconic photo I used in the Lyrical Warlock music song. And I have the Drip Cave Bible. I think this is called the Drip Cave. I think that's what I named this place. Basically, all these towers are kind of empty, so we're just going to kind of skip over them, even though they all look kind of cool. I designed this one off the Sears Tower in Chicago, so that's kind of why it looks like this. But we're gonna move into this area because this area is a lot more interesting. This is basically where I live. This is pretty much my house. I think this tree, yeah, this tree was burnt down in protests against the Bruh City government. This is a good meme. I did this. This was the plane that was used in the creation of Spook's crater. Spook was my Minecraft dog that died in the Minecraft Ender Dragon War of Bruh City. And this is the plane that was used to detonate a nuclear weapon over Spook's crater, which I'll kind of show you guys later. The center of this district is Spook Hall, which is basically my house. I used to not have this wall set up, but then I kind of realized mobs were getting in here way too easy, so I set it up. And this is my house, pretty much. F to pay respects to Spook. We have my other pets, which is Goose the Fox and Dante the Bee. We got random food and cups on the table. Basically, it's everything you need in a house, and it's a nice place. I got a combat kit on the wall with some of my greatest items in it, which I will not show for this video. I got a Darth Vader statue figurine, and I got lots of items in my ender chest as well as my combat kit. And then I got a lot of banners in here where I can just basically, you know, make banners of whatever word I feel like. This is the ladder that leads to the Hyperloop that goes to the Drip Cave. So that's where that goes to. And then I also got this grand podium where I can kind of give speeches or do whatever I want to do for my city. It's kind of an interesting place. And then across the street we have the big blue tower, which is basically just a water elevator, but I also added some other stuff here like a command block, which gives player heads, as well as a chest room right here, which this used to just be a kind of a normal glass type deal with a couple chests, but I decided to fully fledge it out and just make it into a chest room here, so that's kind of why this looks like this. It's a nice place. I like this building quite a bit. We have a Valentine decoration and a lot of other stuff too. And yeah, basically this leads up to elytras and stuff like that, so you can fly around my world. All the ships down here are from PTR Minecraft, which I've just replicated over into this world. We have the Cybertruck, the Interceptor, the Jewel, and the Monica. 4 of my most iconic ships from that era. And then over here we have the British Island, which is just an island that basically broke away from my country. It's just kind of there for a meme. Here's the grave for Paul the Sheep. I guess I gotta pay respects here, but it overlooks the water. This used to be the former bridge which linked across here, but I tore it down and I left the stairs just to kind of remember it and have like a little, I don't know, decoration there to remember that there used to be a bridge there. But the new bridge is this one, and I call it the Bridge of Ever Since. And it's a nice bridge. It's just a nice bridge where you can get good views of my statue. And overall, walk across, you know, look at the red light, and then you can go into Trash Island, which is this island right here, which is based off of the Blade Drain album Trash Island. And then once you cross the next bridge, you enter the Church of Raidernomics, which has a lot of PTR Minecraft references. And yeah, it's just a place with some lightning rods, apparently. A flower that was planted by Raider. Apparently the flower is Sans color. Truly Pog. And yeah, it has a little shrine here to the Dead Sea that we want to drain And yeah, it's basically the holy site of Raidernomics. Across from the Church of Raidernomics, we have the Fuck 12 carrier, which is a giant aircraft carrier I have, which basically is a museum for aircraft carriers of the... This aircraft carrier is basically a museum of planes that I built in the PTR era of Minecraft. There's not really a whole lot in here because I never really had a whole lot of designs, but there was this one and this one, so it really isn't a whole lot going on here, but it is a cool carrier, and I do like the graffiti design of it, even though it's kind of cringy. I got a pawn statue right here. I got a watchtower, and I also have Behemoth Tower, which is a tower built from my Xbox world, as well as another tower, which is the Gauge City Tower from my Xbox world. And then I have some other towers I replicated from the Xbox world, including the stadium, which has a few references to my Xbox world, but this is what my brother built in the world. And then all of that leads up to Cartography Tower, which is a giant museum I have built up for the history of maps in Bra City. Basically, this building has a lot of older maps of the city. Some of them are kind of ruined, but it's still kind of cool to look back on these maps before the city was really fully built. I should have made more, but we don't really have that many old maps left. And then here's a giant map of the entire world on the wall right here. And we have a very large amount of land discovered. Over here is Survival Island. I guess I'll kind of show that off, but this is Survival Island. This is a United States island right here, and there is also another island here, which I was actually at during my fish volcano video. Basically, Spook's Crater started off as just a nuclear blast right here in honor of my dog, which basically goes down here, but it eventually expanded into a planned island city project, which would be Spook Town, and it's definitely gone relatively slow in terms of development, but there are two decent buildings here, as well as a little winter park next to this island right here with turtles on it, and a miniature Shuckle replica. So there's not really a whole lot going on with this island yet, but I do plan to eventually build more in this area. But so far, that is all in my Minecraft world. Hopefully you enjoyed this tour, and I'll see you all for the next one. Peace.